We are going to kill the moon!
Now.
GridLine rap battles. Richard Nixon versus
Hello everybody, my name is Mr. Tibbs and welcome to the BTS of Newell versus Nixon finally. This is a couple months late on the to-do list. I'm currently in an Airbnb right now at about midnight. I'm very tired. This is my last night here. I've been here the past couple of days. I've been gone from my home for a week and a half and I'm very much excited to go back tomorrow. But I kept forgetting to do this, so now I gotta do this. I gotta film this and send it away to the BTS editor. And so I got talking points for you. Why did we do Nixon versus Newell? Literally no reason. April Fool's was coming up. I had it in a dream and I laughed myself away because it was really fucking funny. Thinking of Gabe Newell just spitting some bars against Richard Nixon. I mean, how the fuck else are you really gonna associate that in your mind? Like, how are you gonna draw a connection? I mean, I put the connection together of Valve and Watergate for people who insisted on it, but like, that's really not the connection. The connection is nothing. It's a nothing connection. It's just there. And in today's day and age of rap battles, you really don't need a connection anymore to make a good battle. Ironically enough as well, the beat was called Criminal. It's a really old all-rounder beat, one of the very, very first in its catalog. It's an ancient beat. I don't even know what year it was released. I think it was like 2014, when I remember looking at it. It's a very classic all-rounder beat. It's a very good one, but I just thought it would be funny to mention that it's called Criminal. The writing process for this one was actually really quick and not a lot of bumps. We kind of came up with lines as we went and we didn't really have to do a whole lot of rearranging of those said lines. They happened very nicely for us. We thought of the lines, they stuck, and we didn't have to change them because we didn't think they were cringe or we didn't think they were bad or whatever. The writing process was nice, which is a good thing to have in battle once in a while because occasionally we get one of those really grindy ones that just suck to do. We made sure to have enough video game references from Valve because, truth be told, no offense to Gabe Newell, he's just not really that interesting. So we had to lean a lot on his catalog of games more so than things that he did actually. We also really wanted to make sure, I should say it was one of my main goals, is to have the "I'm not a crook, I'm an American icon" line in there somewhere, and just the fact that it worked nicely enough in the last line of it was, you gotta love it. You love to see it. We bought this fat suit for John Madden. I feel comfortable releasing that information because he's on the Christmas album. We bought it for John Madden, but Gabe Newell came along and we're like, Gabe Newell's a hefty boy. Gabe Newell's a really hefty lad. We could use this for him. I thought for half a second about maybe doing a prosthetic, but then we were like, no, it's an April Fool and we don't have enough fucking time. But, you know, first appearance of the fat suit, insert really weird clip of me having the t-shirt in the weird fat suit location here. For Nixon, we had a prosthetic nose and prosthetic jowling, which is the first time we have used prosthetics in a release battle. We filmed Freddy Krueger before that battle, and that was much heavier prosthetics. With Nixon, Dylan didn't hate existing with the Nixon jowl and nose, and it came out looking fucking fantastic. It changed it from Dylan to Richard Nixon. It was fucking incredible. Like, to this day, I can't fathom how fucking incredible that change was just from the nose and the jowling. The backgrounds are actually done by MusicLine. I was very stuck on what to do because I didn't want to do another White House and I didn't want to just do a boring office for Valve, so I went up to MusicLine and I said, hey, what is the likelihood that you could make me some backgrounds for this? And he said, yeah, sure, I can do that. So he threw together some abstract and they look fucking phenomenal. I love the shit out of these things. They just had a different vibe because instead of being in dumb, boring offices, like a lot of people like on location stuff for some reason. When you got characters that, Nixon is a president, and I've used presidents, I believe, twice now. I don't think another one's come out yet unless I'm forgetting, but I'm gonna say twice before Nixon. And they were both in the White House, and I really didn't want to use them again, because being in the same background is boring as hell. And then Gabe, again, is just going to be in a really plain Valve office. And what the fuck fun is that? Jacob also wanted to note a thumbnail rant that he had. The thumbnail's fine, Jacob.
So yeah, the thumbnail for this one, this guy right here. It looks alright. It's not one of my favorite ones that I made, but it looks fine. You notice that Tibbs' lighting looks like kind of like garbage. Not like the lighting effects I put on; those kind of look like garbage too. But I meant like his actual light. Like here's the original picture. He took that in his brother's room against his wall, where he had one singular orange light pointing down at him. And I tried probably a little too long to make it look as best I can, because Tibbs just like low-key refused to like take another one, and then when he didn't have the smugness on the face that we kind of needed, so we had to use the one that you saw in the final thumbnail. And I just found it a bit annoying, but whatever, it's fine. I'm not even mad about it.
This editing was the first time in a while that it was purely me. The past couple of battles had been external editors. I was kind of on a burnout period, and a lot of stuff had kind of happened in the past year, and I was very burnt out on a lot of things, but editing especially one of those, which was a very tedious thing. It very much drained me. But I came back to do this because I didn't want to throw it at somebody, and I actually really enjoyed it. And honestly, Nixon vs. Newell sort of rekindled a little bit of love for editing in me, because it really didn't suck. There was a couple of parts in it that I was like, oh my fucking god, and I was getting angry with it, because Adobe After Effects sucks balls. I mean, it's just that. It's really just that. But I had a lot of fun editing it, and I'm very happy with how it came out. There's stuff that's wrong with it. There's the shiny things in Newell eyes, which I should have had the foresight of, but I didn't think of it until like I looked at the footage later. The lighting around it's really weird because I had open windows behind the camera. I just kind of did lighting wrong here. And then Dylan is still on his old camera, so he's a little bit grainier here. It's not a huge deal. I keyed him out very well, probably better than I keyed out Newell, truth be told. But I managed to stick myself on a schedule, and I managed to get it done with no time to spare. It was almost fucking late. But somehow, some fucking way, I got it out, and it was ready to go, and it's great. I actually really like this one a lot. This is one of the few grid lines that are edited by me that I go back and rewatch. Which is nice. It's really nice to have those every once in a while. During the writing process, because we were kind of name dropping a bunch of people, we decided to just stick me in like as many cameos as possible, which is why there's about 5 or 6 cameos of really random people. We've got Bill Gates in there, we've got George McGovern in there, we've got JFK in there. Hi JFK, how's it going? And we just decided to say fuck it, because it's April Fool's and we don't do a lot of cameoing. I want to start doing more cameos. I want to start thinking out the storyboards a little bit more in depth with some cameo ideas, but, you know, we were here, we decided, fuck it, Tibbs can do it. These guys look whatever, somewhat like Tibbs, just sort of throw on a costume. It's April Fool's, it's for fun, and boom, we have like 5 or 6 fucking cameos in here. Like I said before, Gabe had some weird camera stuff going on. There was kind of like this moving shadow line in the background where it kind of just moved, and it scared the shit out of me for a second that I wasn't going to key, but it keyed fine. There is some keying issues. They get a little crunchy around the hair. It's a little bit green, and the camera's just not as high quality as it usually is, and that sucks, but you know, you live and you learn. And mostly what it was the windows behind me, and I didn't have very good settings on my camera at the time. For some reason they were restored to factory defaults, and I fucked around with it, and boom, here we are again. And like I said, we were running a lot on crunch time. The render was, oh my god, the render was just shitting the bed all over the place, man. I left it to render when I went to work, and I came back. It was the final render. It was on April 1st. It was supposed to go up in about 2.5 hours, and I was panicking because the render was stuck on one section in Nixon's first verse. And I was panicking. I'm like, this is not going to get done. Luckily, I had like an old render that pretty much nothing was different. I just put the subtitles on it a little bit differently, and luckily it worked out in the end. It didn't shit the bed. I got it out on time when I was supposed to, and it was, and you know, it is one of my favorite battles of season 2 that I've edited. Why? I don't fucking know. It's Richard Nixon versus Gabe Newell. I really appreciate you guys watching this. This one blew up a lot more than I expected. This is now about 2 months in hindsight. The fact that it is hovering around 9,000 views, catching up to Waldo versus Banksy and far outpacing some other popular ones like Chills versus Rod Serling. With the hindsight, it's kind of wild what it's doing. And I appreciate the love for it from you guys. It kind of indicates to me that you guys, matchups that I kind of like doing more. It's not that I hate matchups like Raw versus Chills or anything like that, but I definitely have a lot more fun with like really kind of random ones, a lot more fun, a lot more jokey sort of things that aren't horror related. And I like the fact that you guys like that stuff. So, thank you very much for watching this battle and watching this BTS and loving the battle. I love it too, and I'm glad you guys love it. In which case, I will see you all next time. Bye!